today we're doing something a little different. We're taking Google's massive 9-hour course on AI prompt engineering, and we're boiling it all down to the absolute essentials, the stuff you actually need to know. And we're going to do it in the next few minutes. So, you ready? Let's jump in.
So you've been there, right? You're using an AI tool, you ask it something, and the response you get back is just meh. It's generic, it's not quite what you wanted, or maybe it's just totally useless. Sound familiar? Yeah, happens to all of us. But here's the thing. What if I told you there's a super simple fix? See, the secret to getting mind-blowing results from any AI isn't about finding a better tool. It's all about how you talk to it. Because the quality of what you get out is 100% tied to the quality of what you put in, your prompt. And that, my friends, is exactly what we're going to master today. Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics. To build great prompts, you really need a core structure that you can fall back on every single time. First off, let's make sure we're all on the same page. What is prompting, really? Well, it's just the art and science of giving an AI super specific instructions to get what you want, whether that's text, an image, or even code. Think of it like a conversation, except you're the one who has to lead. And that's where this awesome 5-step framework comes in. First, the task. Be super clear about what you want it to do. Then you got to give it context, the who, what, where, why. The more detail, the better. Third, give it references. Show it what good looks like. Then you evaluate what it spits back out. And finally, and this is maybe the most important part, you iterate. You tweak that prompt and you go again. So how on earth are you supposed to remember all that? Well, forget those boring acronyms you can never remember. Just remember this one sentence. Tiny crabs ride enormous iguanas. Yeah, you heard me. Task, context, references, evaluate, iterate. I mean, come on, you're never going to forget that. Okay, so you've used the whole tiny crabs thing, but the result is still kind of meh. What now? Well, now it's time to refine. You gotta live by this mantra. A-B-I. Always be iterating. Listen, getting that perfect AI response is almost never gonna happen on the first try. It's just not how it works. It's all a cycle. You test, you refine, you test again, and each time you get a little bit closer to what you're actually looking for. So how do you iterate the right way? Well, Google lays out 4 really great methods. You can revisit the framework, maybe forgot to add some key context. You can separate your prompt if it's long and complicated, break it down into smaller, simpler sentences. You don't want to confuse the AI. You can rephrase it, try different words, or even ask for something similar, like a story instead of a marketing plan. Or you can restrict the output by adding some rules, like only give me songs from the 90s. And you know what's coming, right? We need a way to remember this. For our 4 methods, revisit, separate, rephrase, restrict, just think about this. Ramen saves tragic idiots. Yep, another one you're not going to forget. Put that one in your back pocket. All right, you've got the fundamentals down pat. Now, let's get into the fun stuff, the pro techniques. This is where you're going to take your prompting from good to absolutely amazing. First up, let's talk about prompt chaining. So instead of trying to write one massive, perfect prompt to get a super complex answer, you do it in steps. You guide the AI with a series of smaller prompts, where each one builds on the last answer. It's like you're building a final, really sophisticated result, one piece at a time. Let me show you what I mean. So you might start by asking for, say, 3 different one-sentence summaries of a book. Easy enough. Then your next prompt is, okay, now combine those, but focus on the plot twist. And for the grand finale, you use that new combined idea to generate a whole 6-week marketing plan. You see, each step is a building block. Okay, next up is chain of thought prompting. So if prompt chaining is like building with Legos, this technique is more like being a detective. All you have to do is add this magic phrase to your prompt, explain your thought process. That's it. This forces the AI to show you its work step by step so you can see where it might be going wrong and nudge it back on track. It sounds so simple, but wow, is it powerful. And for those really big, complex problems, there's my personal favorite, tree of thought prompting. This is an amazing technique for creative brainstorming. Instead of just going down one single path, it lets you explore a bunch of different ideas at the same time, kind of like the branches of a tree. It's perfect for any situation where there isn't just one right answer. Here's a great example. You could say, imagine 3 different designers are pitching a new logo concept. Then you look at the results and say, I really like the vibe of that first one. Let's explore that more. And from there, Okay, now give me 3 different color schemes for that concept. You're basically guiding the whole creative process, exploring different branches until you find the perfect one. So you've got the frameworks, you've got the pro techniques. What's the end game here? Where does this all lead? Well, it leads to the ultimate goal, building your very own custom AI expert, or as Google calls it, an AI agent. So what is an AI agent? It's basically an AI that you've preloaded with a very specific persona and all the context it needs to act as your personal expert on a subject. It's like having a world-class consultant on call 24/7 for any topic you can think of. A coding genius, a marketing whiz, even a personal trainer. Now, the course breaks this down into 2 main types. First, there's Agent Sim, which is great for simulations. Think of practicing for a job interview where the AI plays the tough interviewer. Then there's Agent X, which is for getting expert feedback. You could pitch your new business idea to an AI that's acting like a skeptical venture capitalist. And believe it or not, building one of these is shockingly easy. It's just 5 simple steps. 1, assign a persona. You are a world-class personal fitness trainer. 2, give context. My goal is to improve my overall fitness. 3, specify the interactions. Start by asking me about my current workout routine. 4, you need a stop phrase. When I say no pain, no gain, our session is over. And 5, request feedback. At the very end, give me a summary of your advice. And that's it. You can literally create a custom expert on anything you want. Okay, so with all this power at your fingertips, we've got to talk about the responsibilities that come with it. Because prompting like a pro also means being a smart and, yeah, a critical user. There are 2 big pitfalls you always have to be on the lookout for. First up are hallucinations. This is when the AI just makes stuff up. It says things that are totally wrong, but it says them with complete confidence. And second, you've got biases. Remember, these AIs learn from a huge amount of text written by humans, so they can pick up and even amplify our own biases. So yeah, always be a little skeptical. And really, this all boils down to the single most important thing to remember from this entire explainer. And it's this: you are the human in the loop. The AI is an incredible tool, for sure, but you are always in the driver's seat. It's on you to check the facts, to verify the information, and to make sure that whatever you produce is accurate and reliable. All right, so you have the frameworks, you've got the pro techniques, you even know how to build your own custom expert. So I've just got one last question for you. With these 5 easy steps in your toolkit, what expert are you going to build first?